Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. It is your guest DM Rainey here again with the Doozles crew for episode 8, the final, the ultimate episode of Die. The Grandmaster has been revealed, and facing him will be our usual intrepid crew of Heather, played by Zach, Tiffany, played by Brianna, Marcus Jr., played by Corey, and Shannon, played by Haley. When we last left off, there was not a lot of laughing. The Grandmaster arrived on the back of an undead Tarask. He is, of course, on your screen there with his unwieldy D20, some kind of mythical figure, cutting a very strange and alien profile, unrecognizable to most people. The Undercity has been all but demolished by an earthquake caused by the pocket dimension sort of starting to rip itself apart. On top of that, there's also a revolution happening. So really, it's just a layer cake of destruction and devastation that the party is kind of trapped in the middle. Each character had kind of their own prevailing desire for what they were going to do. It looks like Shannon's probably going to end up in some kind of conflict. She's rip-raring, ready to go, fully healed. Marcus Jr. is concluding his investigation and possibly finding a Tarask killer. Tiffy and Heather, I mean, it's pretty much going to be up to you two if there's going to be any way to get the Elven forces to work together with the residents of the Undercity. Because if you don't rally them, they won't defend the city. They'll fight each other to the bitter end. But that's your choice. And this song is You Have a City to Burn. It's from the Cyberpunk 2077 trailer.
I'm so hoping that game doesn't suck.
Me too. I'll go ahead and turn that down a little bit so you guys can be heard. I would say right now with the footage, you'd say he's probably about 2 football fields away from Nidara. So like pretty close, but not like so close that you don't have time to act. And on top of that, the drone footage is just showing a veritable army of Fallen at the heels of this Turak. And they are just stomping their way towards Nidara.
Oh, great.
Yeah, when I say army, I'm only saying like a few thousand, not like a million.
They're just a few thousand, no big deal.
This city has a sizable population, though, so that's helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were able to rally all the fighters, there's a pretty good chance they would be able to defend the city, at least from the Fallen. Probably not from the undead Tarask, though.
Well, shit.
So, refresh my memory. We are currently in, like, the penthouse apartment?
Yeah, I believe you are in the penthouse. Previously, the Tarask was only visible from the like, footage, which is why Don Valjean told you to turn on the TV to channel Oh Shit. But now that the undead Tarask has Godzilla'd a hole in the side of the ship, you can pretty much just see it, like with your eyeballs. There's natural light flooding into the city.
I picture us, like, turning off the TV. Like, no, fuck that, we've seen enough. Click off the TV, and like, when the TV, like, shutters away because it's a sci-fi TV, there's just a window behind it, and, like, the actual Tarask.
Basically, yeah.
It's like, oh no. It's the consequences of my own actions.
Well, you said you could get angry enough to fight God, right?
Yeah, but like, is it God that I'm angry at, or is it just myself?
Does it matter?
I thought it would actually be Reggie, but in lieu of that, God will have to do.
Fucking shit. Like, it's just. You know, I would have said yes offhandedly, but looking at this mess, like, I don't think angry's the word. It's more like brick shittingly terrified.
It is pretty terrifying, yes.
Tiffy, what are you going to do about the Les Mis gremlins?
Okay, well, they're gonna need to get together with the French monarchy, because if they don't, everybody's gonna die. Everybody is gonna be the blood of the martyrs in the meadows of France.
You know what this is right now? This is everybody saying we don't want Napoleon.
Look, if there's anything I know about elves, it's that even in the face of certain terrible death, they are not going to admit that they're wrong.
I don't need them to admit they're wrong right this second. I just need them to do something.
Can somebody get me on TV?
Can we give Marcus a ring on his elf phone? I'm sure he could do that.
Barring that, we could just like overtake a television station.
I need you all to like do the Stargate thing where my face is projected above everybody, and I've got it. I've got it from there. Get me plugged in, and I can make them do the thing.
This is the plan. This is the first good plan we've had, like ever. This is Heather. Oh my god, you're gonna manipulate the whole city. That's. I'm so fucking proud of you.
Yeah, I know. I realize now that I should honestly be like one of those Christian pastors on TV. I could make so much
A
money at that.
televangelist?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're deeply awful. You'd be great.
Yeah, I know. It'd be awesome.
Guys, pressing the impending death.
Look, I thought
Money later.
brother might help. You know, right before we die. Okay, let's break into. Let's not to like quote Dale Gribble, because that is not like the distance I wanted to get from my trailer park upbringing. But let's steal the news van.
Don't.
Who's laughing?
It's the perfect crime. How will they ever report it?
All of us are deeply awful for this.
Oh god. Alright, Regina dials in Marcus on her elf phone.
What?
Okay, go ahead and relay the plan.
We're gonna steal the news station.
Can
Can you help?
Look, I have one task, and I'm sticking to that one task. If I deviate, we're all fucked.
How's it going?
I'm searching now.
Okay, so you go get the Gundam, we'll get the TV station. Right.
Don't fuck up.
Okay, so Reggie, we're gonna need a car.
A car. Okay. Alright, I can.
Getting her shit on. She's like putting her boots on.
Either that or just fucking Shinra Tower it, you know? Let's just fucking.
I was just
in.
gonna steal it.
I can make that happen. Car. Okay. So Regina goes over to the landing pad, and she is actually going to cast a spell. I forgot I had all the characters, like all the character sheets, like built in to Roll20. It makes it so much easier for me. Now I don't have to go through and search on my computer. Let's see. What spell to cast?
Oh, dope, it is all here.
actually. So Regina looks up from the pad and looks back to the group, and she's like, I don't think I can do that. You might want to rely on Tiffy for this one.
What, to steal a car?
Well, I don't have any hacking skills, but I know Tiffy, you've got the Forge God. Maybe he can use one of those robots or something.
Oh, we have the Clank.
Yeah, we got Tic Tac.
The power of crime.
We also have the power of crime.
We do have the power of crime, and it's the most powerful power of all.
Yeah, let's just leave. Come on, out the front doors. I'm just gonna stop.
Let's do crime.
Yeah,
we'll
let's
bring Tic Tac, and Tic Tac will help patch us in.
Okay.
From the phone that has not been hung up. Don't destroy anything.
We're not intending to.
Oh, we're not gonna have to, man. There's a Tarrasque on the way. It's like stomping shit.
Different crime.
Do you still have a gun?
Destroy anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Don't destroy
Regina calls
anything
a
that involves the
taxi.
Okay.
Somehow manages to actually still get one. This one is piloted by a sort of an AI, not by a person, because nobody's gonna just be out there doing Uber in the middle of a Tarrasque attack. So yeah, you've got your animatronic kind of Bioshocky looking robot in the front seat. It's just a torso with hands. And
as soon as the car pulls up, Heather opens the passenger door and Grand Theft Auto's the driver out to fall down.
Yeah, all right.
Slides in there, puts the gun to its head, and then just shoves it out the driver door.
To kind of make a mental picture, for those of you who remembers the first Total Recall movie and the taxi cab in that, think that.
Mm-hmm.
Good reference.
So, question: can you guys hear my chips? I don't want to be rude.
I don't think so.
You
I
good?
haven't heard any tips.
You're
Okay.
good.
I don't want to be just crunching chips in the middle of our game.
Yeah.
So, are we going out to steal this car?
Well, I guess
Heather kind of just did.
yeah, Heather's got the wheel.
Heather just kind of put her gun to the AI's head, squeezed the trigger, and then just shoved it out the driver door.
Word, I missed that because I can't hear over my chips. So I'll put the chips away. Alright, so do we all just pile in the car then?
Yep.
Nope. That's better than what I was gonna do. I'm glad you did it, to be honest.
Get in, bitches, we're doing crime.
Fuck
Perfect.
yeah. Shannon calls shotgun. And then she's like, never mind, I don't fit back here with my spear. And she gets out and goes into the back seat. And then she gets out again and pops the trunk and does the thing where she puts her spear through like it's lumber.
Oh, fuck.
It doesn't fit.
For a second, I thought you were about to ride on the roof.
No, she just pops the trunk and lays the seat down and feeds her spear through. Through the middle of the car and the only way that it'll fit.
Oh god, I'm getting event prep flashbacks.
And then she gets in and buckles her seatbelt. Like a dork.
Buckle up, sluts. We're going murdering.
Pretty much.
I guess Regina then gets into the back seat with Shannon.
Shannon's like, get in, Tiffy.
Okay.
So-
Jump into the passenger side.
When Tiffy jumps in the passenger side, Heather just hands her the gun and is like, this is gonna be not like Miami at all, but I'm gonna need you to shoot anything that gets in our way.
What happened in Miami?
I've done before.
Let's go.
What? What the fuck happened in Miami?
It's a long story, and at which point Heather, like, punches it.
This is amazing. All right, so it like, jerks back because you punch it. Kind of the way of like a scared like driving instructor kind of braces themselves on the dashboard. He just does that against like the back of your seat. Marcus, where you at?
Making my way back to the tower.
Make my way
Where the
down.
mech is.
How are you getting there?
Teleporting.
Teleporting? Okay, yeah, you can teleport straight into the tower if you need to. You've already been there.
Yep.
So,
No, this-
mech is in sub-basement. It's like a sub-basement like 5. It's not on the like blueprints for the building. It's kept very hush-hush. Not even really the dwarves are allowed down there.
Making my way down there and whatever hacking I need to do to get down there faster, just letting you know what I need to do.
You actually aren't really going to be able to hack your way in, but you can do the vents again. You don't need any checks for that, but yeah, it just takes you a little time to get down there. When you get to the end of the
Sure.
tunnel, there is a security grid, like a laser grid, that's set up. You will have to hack that.
That I will do.
And if you fail to hack, you can still try and do like what was that movie that had Sean Connery in it with the lady who did like the dance through the lasers?
I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of the movie.
You mean
Yeah,
Entrapment with Catherine Zeta-Jones?
I think so.
Yes.
And you're gonna have to do one of those if you fail to hack it. It's a difficulty level 4. You can still add
Jeez,
your
it's in the
class
phone.
die.
Let's see. So what? 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Hey, you managed to turn off the lasers. That was a really good check. That was probably one of the ones they're gonna have to do.
Now,
So yeah, one by one they turn off.
just making my way beelining towards the whatever the hell this damn deck is supposed to look like.
So you get into the hangar and it is pitch black. Like there's no light outside of this maintenance tunnel. You can vaguely like make out like the handrails and stuff on the catwalk that you're on, because your suit has like a flashlight and stuff on it, but it's not enough to fill this space. You're gonna have to find like a terminal and like manually boot it up. You're gonna have to actually like use like a screwdriver or something, get a panel off, and actually like do some hot wiring.
Sure. I'll search around for any available tools or anything I can use.
You find like a toolbox. Kind of looks like a mechanic's toolbox. How it has like those rows of drawers.
And now just going to look for the closest terminal.
So you can take the toolbox with you. It's on wheels. It's really, the air down here is very musty, and it smells very oily.
Like something like this entire chamber hasn't been opened in forever.
Yeah, imagine like somebody's garage has just been sealed shut for like 100 years. Yeah, it's not great. But jutting out from a portion of the catwalk, there is a terminal. It's about chest height. It's large. It's an older design than a lot of the other stuff that you've had to deal with. It looks like it's an old, like it's a part of the ship.
Well, time to get to work.
All right, go ahead and make me a intelligence check to go ahead and like scan the system and assess what you need to do.
All right.
3 successes.
Sweet.
Very nice. Very well done. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like hot wiring a car. You're just gonna have to make some physical connections, and you're gonna have to like turn on the power remotely, which you can do without a check. Like you've got
Yeah.
enough access to the tower that you can do that at this point.
As I'm hot wiring the system, the only thing in my mind is like, just like fucking Florida.
What have you all been doing in Florida?
It's a long story.
Why was I there? Or do I not remember? That's worse.
Let's just say, all right, think all 3 Hangover movies times 2.
Oh my God, the Grandmaster is just Florida, man. He's just coming for his vengeance.
Is that how I lost teeth?
Yes.
Well, you've managed to turn the system back on. You have control over lights. You have control over a funicular, and you have control over a catapult.
Gonna turn on the lights first.
So, starting from the bottom of the shaft, the lights just do that like stadium like ka-chung, 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 ka-chung. And I had 2 weeks to prepare this, and I forgot to actually get a picture.
That's okay.
It'd be like that sometimes.
All right, here we go. Here's a good picture. What? You know what? Never mind. I had a thought, but this should be fine. Let me. There we go. RPG references. Hopefully that loads. All right, so when the lights all shoot up, the following is what you are gonna see.
Oh boy.
All right, I think this is gonna work. Or maybe not. You know what? That's fine. Corey, I'll just share this with you in like Facebook chat, and I'll show the rest of the party when you show up in it.
Okay.
It's saved as like some weird file that I'm not capable of displaying here. That's good though. All right, Corey, I just sent it to you.
All right. Really? Really? You know what? I'll take it.
So you have controls over the catapult that will launch this thing. You've also got control over the funicular that will load it into position. Once you load it into position, the catwalk will take you straight into the cockpit, and from there, it's mostly an automated system. The question is whether or not you'll be able to actually power this thing up because it is so old.
Well, just gonna mess with the best of the systems to make sure that I can make sure everything's situated to be directly in front of the undead Tarask and the advancing forces.
So what's going to happen is once you set this thing up in the catapult, it's going to launch you straight up into the air. You will arrive in the ship, and from that point, you'll have to use the mech's like boosting system in order to position yourself where you want to go.
All right. Well, hopefully I'm going to set this up so that I can actually use this automated from my system to launch myself and go into the cockpit to try and learn how to pilot this damn thing.
All right. You get into the cockpit. It is very dusty. But the chair itself is pretty comfortable. It looks pretty much like what you would expect a mecha like cockpit to look like. There are hand controls. There are several screens. There's no like windows or anything to see through. It's all through like the mech's like camera systems. There are some, it looks like, mounted on the weapons. There are some mounted on the head. But there are no actual like directly visible ports to look through. So you'll have to get this thing up and running. Which right now, it doesn't look like it's wanting to turn over. But you can try and do something with it. Maybe you can like overcharge it, or it's up to you.
I'm basically gonna do whatever I can. If I have to overcharge it, I gotta overcharge it.
All right. You notice that there are several contacts just kind of hanging from the ceiling. There's a helmet, as well as several like kind of, they almost look like those pads that we would see on like an EKG or in like a TENS unit, where you kind of just stick them onto your body.
Got it. Actually going to use those. Like use the helmet, everything.
All right, when you put those on, one screen does flicker to life, and that's just directly in front of you. It seems to be a basic, and I mean basic, like user interface.
All right, just gonna spend this time, or spend as much time to learn everything I can about the system, about the controls and the weaponry, everything.
There are two main methods of function. One is the emergency conscript controls, which you can control it the way you would expect. Like, have you ever seen that controller for Steel Battalion, the original one?
Yeah, I think so.
The one that had like 40 different buttons, 2 levers, like a pedal.
Yeah.
You can control it like that.
Yeah.
If you have to control it manually, and it's going to be tough to control. Or there's also the integrated new type piloting infrastructure, which interfaces directly with the pilot for a greater intuitive experience. But extended exposure may cause the pilot to go insane.
Fuck it, go big or go home.
It's the Zero system.
All right. So, are you going to select the new type control scheme?
Yep.
All right. The major hurdle in front of you is getting power to this thing. Right now, you're at like 5% power. You can start this thing up, but you are going to be out of power probably before you even really begin the fight with the Tarask. You need to juice this thing up somehow.
All right. Trying to figure out how to get this done, but the only thing in my head is just like overcharge myself to overcharge the whole goddamn thing, but that's not going to work.
It might.
All right, fuck it.
All right, go ahead and make me a intelligence check. This is like a hack check.
Yep. So that'll be 46. Oof. That is 2 successes, actually.
No, that's 3.
It's 3.
Yeah, 4 is a success. Isn't it?
No, it should be 2 because it's 4 and 5.
You got 4, 5, 6, 1.
That's the other one.
Oh, I didn't scroll down. Okay, yeah, no, you got 2. All right.
Yeah.
So you do manage to successfully power this thing using your overdrive. However, you do also take 2 wounds for each failure. One for each failure. Sorry, 2 wounds total.
Okay, so 2 wounds total.
Yes.
Oof. All right.
So you're able to get this thing up and running with your bioelectricity and with the help of your AI. You're able to maximize the power.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably going to be able to generate more power just from keeping this thing running, kind of like you do with a car. So yeah, you can launch. The new type control scheme digs a little deeper into you. What happens is several different like wires and cables like wrap themselves around you, and some of them embed in your skin as they use your bloodstream to generate bioelectricity for the suit. But you are now plugged in.
Oh.
The mech's AI merges kind of with your own and with your brain to become one.
Why am I getting very serious Dark Gun vibes right now?
So it has a willpower of its own, as do you. How well you're going to be able to fight with this thing is going to be how well you're able to work together, merge together. But yeah, you are up and running.
I'm just gonna wait. Just wait till this thing is at least as fully charged as it can be before launching.
Okay. All right. Back to the GTA crew.
I really thought Shannon was gonna have to steal the car, and Heather just stepped right up.
Yeah, Heather. So Regina's giving you directions to where a TV station is. Upon realizing you might not know where you're going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they good directions, or they like turn at the McDonald's? That was the McDonald's. Left. I meant right. I'm sorry.
Hover car,
you
right?
need navigating.
You know it was the latter.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. We can just pull a Millennium Falcon U-turn. That means that you just pull up until you're upside down and then flip over and you go in the right direction again.
That's fair.
There's no artificial gravity in these cars, so it's just going to be...
Well, that's why you're supposed to buckle up. It's a 4-point harness for a reason.
Janie's doing her part. She has rolled down the window and is yelling at pedestrians to get out of the street. But that's it.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Also, somehow, like Julian from Trailer Park Boys, she hasn't spilled her beverage.
That's amazing.
And that's the greatest gift of all.
She's got like that gyroscopically stable chicken reflex for her beer.
She inherited this from her father.
It's an important skill to have. Heather has also not spilled her beer.
Yes, Corey, I would say that is a better picture. I'm going to go ahead and save that.
All right. Hopefully that one works.
Yeah, it's saved as a JPEG, so we're good.
Oh, cool. So now the rest of the world will see what I'm actually gonna try and use.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Oh Lord.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Like when I mean the weave is strong, the weave is strong.
All right, so you guys get to the television station unscathed for the most part. Heather, go ahead and make me a dexterity check for landing. Well, it's not pretty. You definitely you skid. You skid. It jacks up the undercarriage a little bit, but you don't kill anybody. You don't blow anything up. Functionally, you're able to land.
Another happy landing.
Oh God.
Okay, Obi-Wan.
Maybe it's not too late. Maybe the Grandmaster will just let me apologize, and I can switch sides.
No, Reggie. No, you're in this now.
I know.
You done fucked up. You're in this now.
We're a pretty ride or die crowd, in case you hadn't noticed.
Honestly, at this point, it might be both, but I'll stick it with it.
Well, what's a little bit of heroic fantasy without sudden and impending death?
Excellently put.
Reggie, this is still your fault. I haven't forgotten.
Oh yeah, I mean, and we're not gonna. This is.
I mean, to be fair, we were the ones that were like, talk shit, get hit. So
Everything we've done since we arrived in this place has been through like the transitive property, Reggie's fault.
Yeah, well, I still want to know what happened in Miami.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
yeah, that's a long story for not almost about to die time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can also save this being my fault for them too. Anyway, how do we plan on making this happen?
What, like stealing the news station, or like after that?
No, the news station. Like, I've never hijacked a news broadcast before.
We go in there and we kick in some teeth, and then they put us on TV.
All right.
Oh my God, we're really gonna do that?
Guys, I have a confession, and I'm gonna confess it, and then you're gonna follow my lead, okay? Remember that time my brother got arrested for knocking over the 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
I was with him.
Oh.
That's hard as fuck.
Did he, like, take the fall for you?
He took the fall for us.
Damn.
And,
Why?
I mean, it was his idea. It was his stupid fucking idea. But yeah, I cheesed it because he told me to cheese it. And then, look, he was already 18. I would have gone to juvie, and then what would have happened?
Bad things.
You probably wouldn't have gotten dragged into a role-playing game.
Well, yeah, that is true. That part's true. I also probably wouldn't have, gone to college. I was focusing on the positive things that came out of my brother going to jail for me. But, just go ahead and bring that back up.
I mean, you were the one who went to college, so.
Well, I am all for kicking teeth in, but I'm pretty sure a couple of demigods just walking in and demanding the station will probably be enough.
I'm with Tippy.
You know what? That's fine. But kicking teeth is definitely plan B.
It's definitely plan B, but
Are we there?
you catch more flies.
Yeah, we're there.
Oh yeah, elves. Elves.
Shannon gets out of the car and pops the trunk and gets her spear out.
Yeah, let's jump out of the car.
Yeah. Heather takes her gun back from Tiffy and just checks the magazine.
The trunk is stuck.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Make a strength check.
Yeah, Shannon's gonna kick the shit out of the car.
I just step back.
This happened to my Honda Civic one time. We went over a really bad pothole while we were kind of trying to like find a discreet hiding place, and then the latch was just never the same.
I remember that, yeah.
Sorry, I opened the wrong thing.
I'll never forgive you.
It's not as though my parents noticed for another 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's because it's a Honda Civic.
Oh yeah, no, you kick that trunk fucking open. Cut your tongue.
I picture the car coming off the ground.
I mean, Plan B was shoot it, so.
I picture the whole car coming off the ground, and when it lands, the trunk just pops open. Was anyone still in it?
I don't think so.
We'll just say that Regina's like on her way out of the car when you do that, and she just kind of falls on her face.
Shannon gets her speared. She's like, Reggie, get up. It's not a good look. Come on.
Wow.
That was not gangster.
That was not very cash money of you. Get up.
She just looks at you with the face of like Smudge the cat from like that where the lady's yelling at the cat across the table.
I have a miniature of that lady yelling from inside a cauldron. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
What does this TV station look like on the outside? Like when we walk up to the front doors, like what are we looking at?
It's kind of a nondescript concrete building. It's got a bunch of like transmission equipment on the top, radars and shit like that.
Does it have like lobby doors or just kind of nondescript like corporate building doors?
You know those doors where you like push a metal bar to get in? It's like that.
Oh,
Lobby
like those
doors.
rotary doors?
No, it's like school playground doors.
Oh. All right. Yeah, Shannon just goes and like pulls that shit open.
You can kick it in. It's a push-in bar.
Oh, yeah, she kicks it then.
You kick it. It flies open. Everyone's surprised to see you.
She's like, "All right, motherfuckers, I need to be on air." Well, she needs to be on air, but you need to take me to the studio.
The receptionist basically just hits that silent alarm underneath her desk, and several security guards flood into the lobby.
So, hear me out. This is gonna sound really weird. However, we're Paragons, and we've got exactly no time before we are invaded by an army of undead and an undead Tarask. And if you don't let us through, everybody in this tire ship is gonna die. So,
Charisma check.
oh, charisma check. Oh fuck. Where's my shit at?
And I'm gonna give you 2 advantages because the city is actually about to be attacked by a Tarask.
Who would have thought? Okay, so the advantage is just the extra die, right? It's been a little bit since I've played.
Yes.
Okay.
So you said each advantage.
Okay. So that's. Oh, that's not how you type that. Excuse me. I'm just retarded. There we go. Oh, that's not great. It's all right.
Great, but 2 does get it. That they're persuaded. Yeah. Okay. Do what you got to do.
Cool. Thanks. Lead the way. Do it. Like we gotta go. Like now.
All right. They lead you to the broadcast room.
Okay. All right. I'm officially out of. I don't know what to do. Do the thing. How?
Several
Shannon
cameras.
just clears everybody remaining out.
Okay. But like even the camera crew, or
No, like randos that are just like, no, oh my god, what's happening? She's just like exits that way.
there's like one guy standing by the craft services table who just like spits out his coffee when you guys come in.
Okay, so whoever is most efficient with this equipment, we need to be on as many screens and wavelengths as possible. The entire city needs to be able to see this.
Okay.
Emergency broadcast system style.
Yeah, that one. Very V for Vendetta.
Fortunately, because all entertainment is controlled by the state, you have access to all channels.
Oh, excellent. It is V for Vendetta.
Great.
You're on.
Okay. So the way this goes down is it starts with like a black screen behind Heather, and because she's got dark hair, she just kind of looks up and her face comes out of the screen, like, you know, center screen, and it just kind of zooms in on her face. And at which point she's going to activate the dark speech of Mordor. And she's just going to go,
Oh, this is such a good song. I love this rendition.
"Citizens of Nadara, my name is Heather, and I am coming you today because we, all of us, are under a great threat. An invading malevolent force from far away has come to take our home from us. The city of Nadara. Be you wealthy and at the top echelons, or at the lowest, today, it does not matter. Today, death comes for us all, in the form of those who are the fallen, a gigantic monster, and a sociopath who would wrench everything from us and destroy our way of life completely. This enemy does not care if you are elf, or human, or troll, or orc. This enemy only desires destruction. So I call to all of you, take up arms and defend our home. We cannot build ourselves a better future if we have no future. Rise up now and attack."
The entire studio shakes as another blast from the Tarask rocks the city, and several more like flaming girders drop from the ceiling of the ship.
We need everyone. If you have a weapon, magic, an able body to help, the ability to heal, we need all of you on the front lines now. Get organized. At which point I'm gonna roll emotional manipulation,
Go for it.
and it's gonna be awe.
That's a big success.
There you go. So it's 5.
5 successes absolutely will do it. Think of that as like having rolled a 5 on like a charisma check. You just gave like the "give me liberty" or "give me death" speech. Everyone in the city is enraptured by your message, standing in front of their TVs around stadium-sized like jumbotron screens. It's being broadcast everywhere. Your voice is echoing through the halls of Nadara, and the message resonates. People are moved. The people who are digging, their comrades out of the Undercity, the people who are like putting up medic tents, like there's not a dry eye in the house. Even the elves are like, "This is what I signed up for when I became a guard." And from like a window, you can start to see a crowd mobilize towards the gaping hole in Nadara, and it looks like a really big, just formation of people just moving to fill that hole. Looks like it worked.
Part 1 down.
Someone steps up behind Tiffy, wearing a dark suit, and he adjusts his tie, and the God of War looks at all of those people lining up to fight against the undead. He says, "Our debts are settled."
Whew, that's good to hear.
Question: did that roll work on us?
Yes.
Sure.
Fuck yeah.
Shannon's like, I've never given a shit about anything before right now.
So what do we do now?
Y'all should get like inspiration or something for that, I think.
I will give everybody an advantage on their first roll after that.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure I wasn't able to hear this where I was.
Oh, you definitely picked this up on the communications broadcast.
Huh. Well, what's the current power?
You're at about 50%.
Son of a bitch.
It better than no percent.
So you're like, as more systems boot up, like the AI starts to initialize subroutines, and it's like Ragnarok class, St. George, anti-kaiju system engaged.
I love Pacific Rim so much.
Just taking in everything with my system. Well, with my system being hacked into. I'm just taking it as much as possible before I have to initially launch.
It looks like these were initially designed for fighting dragons, which is why the elves have them in the first place.
Oh, so there's more than one. Awesome.
Well, there's only one that you have access to, but yeah.
Fuck. All right.
Looks like the maximum you're going to be able to charge this up to is about 80%.
Well, once I hit the 80, that's when I'm launching.
Okay. All right. While that's charging up, what is everybody doing after the broadcast?
Now what?
Shannon's like, I'm more of a doer.
I need to. If we're leaving, I need to disconnect the ley lines.
Wait, like leaving everything?
Yeah, if we're leaving, I need to fix that. Otherwise, it's gonna just bleed this planet dry.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I agree, but we didn't make a decision on it yet. I mean, can you do that and we not leave? Like, could you just do that anyway because it's the right thing to do or something?
I mean, I could disconnect those, but it's gonna be hard, and it's probably gonna mean you're gonna have to fight alone.
That's probably not a great plan. Can that wait?
Let's
It
find
can.
them first and then fix the ley line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and Shannon, don't forget, I can piss you off.
And I can make sure you don't melt down.
Yes.
Both of those things, actually.
You know, Heather, I'm going to ask you to do not that, because if there's anything I know for certain, it's that I piss myself off just fine. I think maybe the better use of your powers will be to bring me back down from the bleeding edge of chaos, because I kind of rattled myself a little last time.
I can fix that.
I almost learned a lesson. I'll put it that way.
Almost.
If Heather ramps you up, I can bring you back down more safely than last time.
All right. So Marcus is getting a Gundam to fight a Tarask.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is dope. It is dope. But that's like one box checked, right? Like, let's just think of this in terms of things we need to do. Like, that's how I got myself through college. Like, you know, everything seemed kind of far away and impossible to achieve, but I just made a list and I'm like, okay, that's only 4 things. I'll just do those 4 things and then I'll be where I need to be. So that's what we're going to do now. Tarask, check. Marcus has it.
Army of undead minions, check. People have it.
People have it. All right.
They could probably use a hand, though.
Yeah.
I nominate Tiffy since she's the one who wanted to Les Mis all of them.
Okay, I can do that.
Also, they kind of need the power of God.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So
Yeah.
Marcus is checking. He's got the Gundam. He's going to take the Tarrasque. Tiffy's going to take the people and deal with the undead.
So that's the power of God and anime on our side. So that just leaves you and me fighting the asshole on top of the Tarrasque.
I think we can do it.
Fuck it, why not? It's a good day to die.
Well, Reggie, what are you going to do?
I guess try to slow down the Tarrasque to give Marcus some time.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yep.
So, who's coming with me and who's going with Tiffy?
Heather, you should go with Tiffy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Ooh. This is ooh. I'm getting some Pentecost vibes here. No, Pacific Rim, nobody. Marcus would get it.
So if I don't see y'all again, this was lit.
Yeah, guys.
What if we didn't? Because I'm really, really bad at doing things after I start crying. So let's put a pin in that one and squish the garbage down with our squasher downer.
That's for after the inevitable tragedy happens.
Yep, let's go.
Hey, but for real, Heather's right. And Tiffy, if this is curtains, because it almost was last time, I want you to know you can do it if you leave here. All the things you haven't done because you're afraid to do them for whatever reason. It's horseshit. You can. Go see a therapist, get some anti-anxieties, and fucking get your life on track.
Ooh, okay. It's really hot in here. Let's go.
My turn to drive.
Okay, lit. And Shannon just gives Heather knuckles and leaves.
Yep.
Get in.
Yeah, Shannon gets in. She puts her spear back in the trunk.
You too. I'll drop you off at the front lines.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep, let's go.
All right, let's see. How much dexterity do I have? Oh, thank God. Enough to not horribly bungle this.
No, one would think.
Then again,
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
so that's one success, which is enough to operate this, but it is not a comfy ride. Regina's not able to really equalize the level of the cab, so like the whole car is like dipping to the right the entire trip. It's not catastrophic, but it sure as hell isn't comfortable.
Jesus Christ, when was the last time you took a driving test?
For a flying car? Never.
Did you not ever play Ace Combat?
You know I didn't.
Why though? It was so good.
I couldn't afford a PS3. This is kind of better though.
Okay, so we're just gonna get the correction. We're learning how to drive. Okay.
So
Hold on to the oh shit bar on the side by the window.
she slowly like lowers the car down in front of the part of the city where like the hole in the wall is, and people are already starting to arrive there, and so like not the door of the car that's sagging, but like the kind of like the step bar starts to like grind against the floor as she like lands it, but like the dipping part hits first, and then like the driver's side drops to the bottom. It sucks.
Oh.
You probably don't feel like letting her drive anytime soon.
Okay. Well, and nothing could be as bad as that was, so we're fine.
All right, you two. Hopefully, this isn't going to be a one-way trip for us, but
Good
yeah.
luck, kids.
Good luck, team.
Go kill that Tarrasque.
We kind of do that little, we hop out of the car thing.
Bloop, bloop.
Shannon looks at Reggie and is like, "Get out."
Okay. All right.
Heather and Tiffy have left the party.
Shannon switches to the driver's seat. She's like, "Get out."
All right, so Regina goes to the trunk and like wedges it back open and grabs like some bungee cords out of the back and links them together, runs them underneath the passenger side like roof, and then gets onto the roof of the car. And she's like, "Okay, Shannon, go."
No, what the shit? Get off the car, you bitch! What the shit?
It's gonna be easier for me to cast fireballs from out here.
If you don't get the fuck in the car, you dumb bitch, there's a sunroof, okay? Just... God!
It's in, but she's very, very upset that you wouldn't let her have her moment.
Shannon deploys the sunroof and is like, just stand on the center console like every other hooligan.
So, like, she gets in there. It's real awkward. It's almost like if you accidentally trapped a deer in your car. She accidentally steps on Shannon's leg, and it hurts. It's not like an injury, but it doesn't feel good.
Shannon's like, ah, God.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, all right, I'm through. I got my boobs through.
Shannon deploys the sunroof a little more.
No!
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Good, okay.
All right.
I'm gonna go. Are you...
I'm ready. She just slaps the top of the roof, like, bang, bang. Come on, let's go.
This bad boy can fit so many fireballs in it.
Shannon goes.
All right. It's about that time that Marcus, you're at like 75%. You get
All right,
there.
Can't wait any longer.
Your console offers you a new option now that power has reached that level.
Uh-huh.
You can send out a subspace beacon. And it looks like this option hasn't been used in like several thousand years, like predating the crash. It looks like they were never able to power this thing enough to get it to that level.
A subspace beacon. Fuck it. Send out the beacon.
All right. It's going to wait for open sky to send out the beacon. But you are free to launch when ready.
Launching now.
So as Shannon flies over the encroaching horde of Fallen, who, because they are smaller and not quite as badly deteriorated as the Tarrasque, have managed to reach the ship a lot faster. The Tarrasque is just kind of like sludging along. The Grandmaster doesn't feel especially pressed for time, but the Fallen are almost in firing range of the city. And there's a lot of them. Like, when you're on ground level, it's a lot spookier seeing a zombie army crawling your way and knowing
Oh.
exactly what they used to be.
It's like the last halfway decent episode of season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Or
Yeah,
like
except-
the first season of The Walking Dead, which was the last half decent season.
That's
Except all
fair.
the White Walkers are former Jon Snows and all the good guys.
Even better.
All of these people used to be like you. They were potentially trapped here by their friends.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's a lot of people.
But Heather, especially because of the Dark Souls references, knows that these are hollowed undead. Whatever trace of personage is long since gone, replaced solely with a desire to kill.
Okay.
All
This
right.
is gonna suck.
So, fire. That's the plan. Fire. Lots and lots
Yep.
of fire. Kill with fire.
That sounds good.
Some kid with like a shitty assault rifle hears you say that, and he's like, "Did they say fire? Fire!" Pulls the girl fingers. Stop pressing fire!
Heather just kind of walks up behind the kid and just kind of like donks him on the back of the head with the pistol butt.
People see that and they realize that you probably did not give the order to fire. So, like, several people who had started shouldering their rifles stop.
At which point, Heather kind of takes a tactical command sort of outlook on it and starts organizing people into firing positions and behind cover and stuff like that
Nice.
into groups.
I got some buff for this.
What you gonna do?
So it's only a level 2 miracle. I do realize I'm asking quite a bit, but the spell description does say all allies.
Okay.
Oh
So
no.
Yeah.
so level 2, Shirelia, Goddess of Light, is Bless. I add an armor to all nearby allies, and if I activate my special, all attacks double wounds against undead.
Yeah.
Shirelia will let you do that,
Yes.
but she's going to demand payment up front.
Okay, what would you like? Because we've been pretty chill, and I have not asked yet.
You have to convert all of these people to my religion.
I got you, fam.
Cool. All right. Sounds good. I just like bump knuckles with Heather.
No, you have to do it.
Fuck.
Become my high priestess.
Alrighty. Who better to be the flagship talker for the Goddess of Light than someone who has hair made out of sunlight?
Just kinda
Sounds
puts a hand on her shoulder. It's like, Tiffy, you got this.
okay.
I'll leave you. You got
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Take an advantage.
All right. So I'm assuming that is a charisma check.
It is, and you do have an advantage.
Okay.
So
We'll see how that goes.
so all the guys that Tiffy uses, you came up with all the names, right, Bree?
I did at one point, and then my sheet corrupted, and so I only have like the couple that I remember.
All right.
She has a name though.
Yeah, I was like, that name sounds oddly familiar.
It's because it's a League of Legends item.
I know, Shirelia's Reverie.
Yep. All right. So we're gonna. Oh, excellent!
Oh,
That's a
yes.
fantastic.
Critical
check.
success.
Bruh.
We'll figure that out.
So I am the worst at impromptu speeches. So I'm gonna stand somewhere up high, and I'm gonna like smack the butt of my hammer and like amplify my voice as like far as I can, and just be this glowing bastion of sunlight and wonderfulness. And
So,
I,
as you take up that position, Cerelia actually casts like a god beam on you. So
Oh,
there
fuck
is
yeah.
like a spotlight on you.
oh, it's
um,
fucking
yeah.
dope.
And a enormous bound tome materializes before you. It's all of its pages are blank, and as you speak in like golden script, your words will become like the Bible for these people.
That's really fucking cool. I'm gonna not fuck that up by just saying I say some awesome shit. So basically, the gist that I'm giving is like that I know that this is a dark time and they're all frightened, but the best thing to do is we're going to all come together and we're all going to shed light onto the situation, and we'll be protected by, the rays of Sharilia and, all that dope shit, priest shit.
Now have each of them say their name and swear an oath to Cerelia as their chief goddess.
All right, you got it. Okay, now we're gonna start by saying our blessing for safety. So you will pledge your name and pledge your service to the goddess of light, Sharelia, and her protection and blessings will shine down upon you and your family, and everything will be okay.
So as each of them do it, like they're kind of led, almost like a class is led in like the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Their names, one by one, appear in the book, and at the end it is like, here now and forevermore, these lineages are bound in service to the goddess Sharelia.
Oh fuck.
So I just posted a
They'll
picture
thank me when
in
they're alive.
posted a picture in the Doozles chat of what what this
That's
might
dope.
transpire over.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
I will bring that up for the audience because that is pretty accurate.
It do.
Dope. I just saw it.
Type.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
All right, so everyone receives that blessing of extra damage and defense. All of them do.
Yes.
So you have just like deputized and baptized like a whole population.
It's the Anduin bubble res.
Oh my god.
That's pretty much what happened.
Stand as one.
I need to take a quick bio break. I will be back in about 5 minutes. That's okay with you guys.
That's
Yep.
cool with
We'll
me.
see y'all real soon.
E.
All right. So Marcus has access to the subspace. What did I call it?
Subspace beacon.
Beacon. That's right. Tiffy just converted a lot of people to fantasy Christianity, and Heather helped. Heather is also playing futuristic Mountain Blade and has organized the groups into like firing teams and make sure that they're not like standing in front of burning debris while they're fighting.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tarask Total War. Shannon is currently piloting a taxi cab with half of her girlfriend sticking out the top.
It's crazy taxi time.
It was always gonna end this way for her, I think.
Wait, for Regina or Shannon?
Yeah, can we get some Offspring playing for this montage?
God, if I had only known.
Hey, 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 it's time to make some crazy money.
I don't have Offspring.
Just imagine the trip to a wonderful land. Candy and jam.
This is fine too. So Shannon's still going in the vague direction that Reggie is telling her to go?
It's not hard. The Tarask is big.
Yeah, she's like... Because Shannon drives a pretty high-powered car like normally. So she's pretty expertly like banking around corners and dodging pedestrians and...
Oh, you're outside the city now.
When she's outside the city, she's just avoiding difficult terrain. She's trying to pull Reggie up alongside whatever she needs to shoot at, like...
I guess.
Unless she's just shooting at the Tarask.
Yeah, she's pretty much just hucking fireballs at the Tarask.
Yeah, Shannon just pats her on the fly and is like, "You got this, baby."
Let's see if she does.
Shannon also turns the radio on. And puts some sunglasses on.
So, the Tarask, after getting hit with the first fire blast, is going to turn and try and fire at the taxi. But let's see if Regina actually does any damage with that. Let's see here. How much intelligence does she have? Okay, yeah, 4. Still surprises me that I did that. Whoops. Ooh! Oh no!
Oh no.
Yikes.
So Regina tries to throw a fire blast, and
Oh,
like,
those are D4s. Those are not D6s.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Thank you for calling that out. Okay, that's much better.
That's
I was
a
gonna have
relief,
her accidentally
honestly.
fry the engine. Like on a crit fail, that would have been bad. But this is
yes.
better. So that's 4. Wow, that's 4. Okay. And the stats for Tarask. I'm gonna say it doesn't have any guard, but it does have 25 health. So that's gonna be standard defense of 2. It's not really heavily armored, its flesh is really soft. That's gonna be 2 wounds. So yeah, that's a normal fire blast. But that part of the section of the Tarask that she hit is ignited. Actually, you know what? Let's do this Doom Eternal style. Let's break this thing up into pieces.
Sections.
Each arm and leg is a section, and then like the body and head are a section.
Like one section or each?
The arms and legs are going to have 5 HP, and then the head and body are one section, and they have 10 HP. We'll just say that.
Yep.
So yeah, it's going to turn to try and shoot at the taxi cab.
I just realized these crackers are loud as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I picture there being like normal taxi cab, like tchotchkes in the cab. Like there's.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's like random beads hanging from the rear view mirror. And
It was like an AI, like so, like it's all like there's like a sexy robot hula dancer.
I don't know why it's better for me if it's somewhat disastrous or like dysfunctional.
I'm gonna say that the car has 2 defense, and since it's not like an armored car, we'll just say 2 guard and 4 health.
Do I get an opportunity to try to like drive out of the way of its attacks?
I will say you can make a dexterity check to try and do like evasive maneuvers, and if you succeed on a difficulty of 3, you'll give 1 disadvantage to the Tarask for trying to hit it.
Okay, gotta look up what my dexterity is. It's not a lot. Yeah, I'm correct. It's not a lot.
Is it less than 3?
Yeah, it's a 2.
I'll say you can still succeed if you succeed with a 6. We'll call that like a crit success. So it's going to be hard for you to get out of the way, but
I'm gonna give it a go.
yeah.
I hope I don't just roll this car over, like with Reggie sticking out the top. Like,
I mean, it is a hover car, so. Okay. Nope. That's not going to do it. The Tarask shoots a blue beam of light towards the cab.
I just heard Mike Lewis's voice go, "Motherfucking moonbeam!"
So it definitely hits.
Shan's just like, "Oh shit!"
It does 4 damage to the car, so it rips right through like the metal, and it gouges. It like actually blows off the doors on the passenger side. The car is definitely like not doing so hot, but it's not destroyed.
Is it still running?
It's still running.
Shannon pulls Reggie back down, like into its body. Since like the passenger doors are gone, there's plenty to shoot out of. At this point,
That's true.
yeah, she pulls her down like into the body, and like has an arm over her, like soccer mom style, and she's like, "You need to hold on to something."
She braces.
Shannon wheels around and goes to drive between its legs.
Oh no!
Because it can't moonbeam me if I'm under it.
All right, Regina's gonna try and throw a fire blast up between its legs and its non-existent Tarask dick.
Funny story, we had someone try to take down a giant undead creature in our fake campaign by shooting underneath of it. It sure did.
Haley still sound mad as fuck about it.
Yeah, it was like a hype fight with the music playing, and then Zach's character just blows the balls off of like a dire bear, an undead dire bear.
All right, so this time she does that whole like creating a ball of fire between both hands and like nursing it until it gets larger and larger. This one is for real a fireball, and she's gonna throw it at the left leg of the Tarask.
Dope.
Which we'll say is the part that maybe she already hit. And did, what, like 2 damage to? Well, it's not a crit fail, but it's not enough to really burn into this thing. We're going to switch over to Heather and Tiffy. The zombie army, like, they're to the points where you can see, like, the blacks of their eyes. I would say whites of their eyes, but they're all rotten and techno zombie style, so there ain't no whites left in those eyes. So the reality of what is happening here is much, much different than from how Regina imagined things would be, and probably how you all imagined things would be. This is not the mystical, magical experience that you thought you were going to get when you were first fighting, spiders outside of Clydesdale. The air erupts with fire, and bullets and laser beams and all kinds of stuff are just whizzing out of the walls of the city and impacting the fallen. Some of them actually get torn apart by the fire. Some of them are able to withstand several volleys. And others yet actually take to the sky with leathery bat-like wings and begin flying into the hole. Some people have to start aiming up, and that splits the fire so that the ones on the ground are now making more progress, and the ones in the air are getting closer and closer. Yeah. You ever see the movie Zulu? Yeah, it's a lot like that. Except these things, they don't know fear, they don't know pain. Uh, all they know is killing, and they are just marching closer and closer. You still have a little bit of breathing room, but the flyers are going to be a problem. One of the flyers comes down on Tiffy and tries to like pick her up by the shoulders.
Oh, Jesus. Let's see how that goes.
Let us see. Yes, that's. Oh, I did 44 again. That's 3 successes.
That's definitely past my guard.
So it doesn't actually damage you because it's not trying to claw you, but
It's
it
trying
does.
to pick me up.
Yeah, it gets a hold on you and it starts to lift you into the air.
Can I do anything about that?
Yes, you can.
All right, cool. I'm not sure what I want to do about that. It's probably really hard to hit something that's holding on to you with a hammer. I guess I will just try to make like a strength check to wrench myself free.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, that's not how you type that. I don't know if that's gonna do it.
No, not quite.
Shit.
You're not able to get free. I'll say it's like D&D rules. It's like a contested strength roll. It got 3 successes, so you were 1 shy.
I gotcha.
So it's got you in the air.
Oh fuck.
Heather, the ground forces are not quite close enough to you to really be worried about, but you can fire at them, or you can try to fire at some of the flyers, including the one that just got Tiffy. Go for it. That's probably going to be easier than trying to like grapple with it in midair.
Yeah.
That surprisingly, well, no. Didn't you get advantage from like Tiffy's spell?
There's one more d6.
What exactly were the effects of your spell, Brianna?
Everybody gets 1 armor, and if they roll a special, it doubles the wounds against undead.
Okay, all right, cool.
All right, so it's just a special.
Yeah.
It's a special, but you do still get an advantage because you're leading an army, I'll say, and you do hit it. You put a bullet in it. It's not enough to kill it, but it is enough to get it to drop Tiffy. Although she's not high enough in the air that's really going to hurt.
Okay, cool. Superhero land. Yeah.
It's hard on the knees.
That's okay. I'm in a perfect body that doesn't have arthritis. It's fine.
That's true. Marcus, you're ready to go.
Oh yeah.
The catapult is ready for activation.
Like I said, just launching directly towards Trask.
All right. So the rest of you hear a loud klaxon begin to go off, and several caution lights as an enormous gaping iris opens in front of the tower, and slowly but surely a bipedal tank begins to rise up on an elevator, and this is what you see. Would help if I had actually uploaded it. Well, a funicular. Oh, okay.
No, turn that off right now.
Waiting for the mecha to be loaded up onto the catapult. It just gives you that all the while.
You just get dial-up tones.
So, for any of you who have watched Gundam Wing, this is Zex Marquis Tall Geese.
Yep.
So this thing is loaded up onto the catapult. It hunches down and locks its limbs in place, and the catapult, just the same way it does on an aircraft carrier, just flings this thing directly into the air. At which point its booster systems activate, and blue flames come out of its feet and out of its back, and it stabilizes. And Marcus, as you move your arms and head and stuff, you're going to be able to move in tandem with the machine.
Got it.
Hype.
Just making sure I'm everything's correct until it's time to land, or I am as close to the track as possible.
So there's a good, I want to say 800 meters between you and the Tarask, but you'll be able to close that distance relatively quickly, probably in time for the next round of combat between Reggie, Shannon, and the Tarask. And this is definitely a Andrew WK remix of Char the Great from Gundam.
Actually, I'm going to level the gun.
Okay.
and just wait until I'm well within range.
You can fire it right away. This thing is a huge gun.
Oh boy.
The St. George class suit has all of your stats, but
Mhm.
doubled.
Oh,
Oh,
all right then.
right as the music.
All right. All right. So it basically has my stats, but
Yes. So like double your dexterity, double your strength, double your enjoyment with double mint gum.
well, looks like we're shooting. Oh,
It also
boy.
has the same weaponry that you do. It has a beam saber, it has a gun, and you are going to be able to use those in the same way that you use your Neo weapons. All right,
I'm gonna wait until I'm actually on the ground for those.
so 4, you definitely hit the Tarrasque. Which section are you aiming for?
1, 2, 3, 4. Body.
Body? All right, yeah, you hit it. You do a pretty good chunk of damage, honestly. You blow away some sloughed off, like, rotten flesh, expose some bones. Shannon, it is your turn.
All right, so Regina missed last time. I'm gonna wheel around and try to line her up for another shot, like right under its chin this time.
All right, make another dexterity check. Actually, what's your intelligence?
Yeah, I'm not dodging the Tarrasque this time. I'm just driving with like
Okay.
between its legs. I'm trying to keep it from being able to shoot us. My intelligence is 3.
Okay.
Do
All
we
right.
roll that?
Yes. I'll say that since you're piloting a machine, you can use that instead. That'll definitely give Regina an advantage and give the creature a disadvantage to hit you. Regina's going to go ahead and try and throw another fireball at it. At the this time at the head. It's not really enough to pierce its defense again. This thing has a real tough hide. The Tarrasque is going to try and shoot at the line of people defending against the zombies. Big blast. Be Tiffy.
Okie dokie. Hang on. Let me.
The thing that grabbed you is still alive, and more flyers are pouring in.
Fuck. Alright. Let me try to. Sorry, I had a dumb file open. Alright, I'm gonna try to. We'll go kind of small on that one. I'll use a ranged attack. I'm gonna try to cast a level 1 miracle for a Johnny for a fire blast.
Okay.
Alright. I think that's enough. I don't remember how ones cancel out.
Let's see. The ones don't cancel out.
Oh, okay.
If you get no successes and there's a 1 in your pool, that's a critical fail.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it looks like you got 2 successes,
Yee. It's just a level 1 spell, and I'm already chill with him.
and you're shooting. What do you like? The thing that attacked you?
Yeah, just like a flyer. I'm gonna try to do air cover so they can worry about the ground.
Okay, yeah. No, you singe it with that fire blast. It's not set on fire because that depleted its guard.
Okay. Cool.
Heather, it is your turn. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit easier for you guys. I'm going to say you have 25 groups of civilian and defense, defenders. And there are, we'll say, approximately 2,500 of the fallen. Thank you. I was forgetting the word. And out of those, 10% maybe are flyers. So that's 250. Each group of your defenders, we'll say, is 100 people. So you have 200,500 people. We'll just make it super simple. 5% of them got taken out. And I want to say that's 50 people. Maybe? No? Because the Tarrasque did hit you. Hold on. I have to do some math.
Oh no.
What is 5% of 2,500? $125 people were lost in the blast from the Tarrasque. So you have 2,375 defenders.
Ooh.
At this point, what we're going to do now, I'm going to have you roll. I'm going to have you roll 25d6, and each success will be each group successfully defending itself and killing fallen. Yes.
For like, okay, I gotcha.
Yes. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 successes. So about half of your defenders are landing like good hits. I'll say that takes out 25 flyers and a good 500 fallen. 2,000 fallen remain, and 125 flyers. We're going to do this big army style. There's no rules for this. I'm just pulling this right on out of my butthole.
It'd be like that.
Marcus, it's your turn.
Am I in a closer proximity of landing, or at least riding myself to land?
Yeah, you are close enough that you could land.
All right, cool. I'm going to position myself so I'm actually landing and not, bulleting myself onto the undead Tarrasque.
All right. You are landed.
All right. As soon as I land, let's see. How many coins did I have? I think I still have 2 coins. Because this is all in the same night.
I thought you had 4. Or was it 2? I know you got 1 in the hospital.
Yeah, I got 1 in the hospital. The school.
You definitely got 1 in the school. But didn't you also get 1 in the tower, or did you use that?
I think I used the 2 I got in the tower to teleport from the tower to back to the penthouse.
Okay, so yeah, you do have 2 coins.
Okay. I'm actually going to save those for a critical moment. So we are going to go back to shooting the damn thing in the face. Oh boy. 4 successes.
Yeah, you do another 4 damage. You like punch a hole in its skull, and you can see it's just rotten, wormy. Like there's wires in its brain from where the Grandmaster is like controlling it.
Awesome.
It begins to sag a little bit. You've done a lot of damage to like the head and torso.
Hmm.
It's at this point that the Grandmaster reaches up, and there's like a stone coin that burns away. It mutters something that no one can hear, and your thrusters are disabled,
No.
so you cannot fly. And the
Oh,
taxi
no.
cab begins to plummet to the ground.
Wait, and the what?
Yeah, the cab begins to fall out of the air. Anything
Got-
technological cannot fly in this area.
Oh, fuck.
Goddamn EMP.
It's not an EMP. You recognize this as something that Reggie has done before. He is changing the laws of physics in a localized area. It is a cheat coin.
Motherfucker.
It's at that point that Reggie's going to grab Shannon and do a cheat coin of her own and nightcrawler the fuck out of the cab before it slams into the desert plateau below.
Dope.
Safely onto the ground, kind of like 70 meters maybe away from the Tarrasque. So you can still fight.
Shannon's just like, whew. All right. So you just gonna keep Roman candling it, or do we have like a backup strategy?
Oh, cut out.
Oh no!
No, my headset's having no issues. It's just that the battery is low because this is a wireless headset, so I had to plug it.
Oh.
So, sorry, what did Shannon say?
Shannon was like, are you gonna keep Roman candling it, or do we have a secondary strategy?
I can summon some monsters to try and help us fight it.
That sounds cool.
I could do that. That's going to cost me another coin. I'll only have 2 left after that.
Okay, okay, well, let's think about it.
We could also just get you mad.
Just get me mad?
Yeah.
You want me to just power up out here, and then I'm not the Hulk. I have to like legitimately be angry.
You're right.
If you hit me, I swear to fuck.
I have a better idea.
I feel like she was like putting her hand in her pocket, like.
She grabs a cheat coin, and she spends her cheat coin, and she says, "Shannon, go to hell."
What?
So shortly thereafter, arms reach up out of the desert below you and begin pulling you underground.
What?
Shannon's like jarred at first, and then she's like, "What the fuck? What the fuck? Why would you do it? This isn't helping."
Before you're able to finish that thought, the dirt muffles your voice and also clouds your vision, and you kind of like, you don't pass out, but you're like smothered for a minute, and then shortly thereafter, nothing but like just heat and fire like fills your vision as these imps that have their hands around your arms and legs actually pull you into the realm of hell. And for every turn that you're in hell, your your anger, your rage is going to go up by 1, and it cannot be reduced.
Ever?
Not while you're in hell.
Oh, okay. Is this is this inherently obvious to me? Like, do I know that while I'm in there?
You know you're very angry.
And I'm like getting angry, like it's rising.
Yes. One moment, let me get some music queued up.
Was that door? Someone just opened the side door and put the cat inside. I hope it was Jordan.
It's probably Jordan.
There we go. Perfect. Yes. So, like, as you're being dragged down deeper and deeper into hell, you can hear your lance, your spear, talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can lose, we will send unto them only you. Rip and tear, until it is done.
Appropriate.
Not Doom.
Nope, Doom Eternal.
So, yeah.
Even, like, holding her spear, she can hear it talking to her, and she's like, okay, look. And she just kind of plants it in the ground. Hell isn't a place. It's something you carry around with you. And she sits down and, like, starts to meditate there.
That's when an enormous foot puts its self down in the gates to the necropolis in front of you, and an 11-foot tall demon with just a gigantic cyclopean eye and one horn, the other one's broken off. It's on its great hooved feet, marches up to you in like a measure of challenge to try and like size you up and see whether or not you're going to be ground into paste like every other mortal that comes to hell, or what you are.
Shannon points to her championship belt and just shrugs.
That's when it grabs you.
Oh well, now I'm super pissed.
It lifts you up and it opens its gaping maw like it's going to eat you.
Shannon's got her spear, like, in front of her, like, she grabbed it up out of the ground when, like, the hand came down for her. And she just starts burning. Like, we're at, like, level 2 mad, at least.
So, you can use your creative violence and not have to roll for it here.
Okay.
So, every time you use creative violence, you will not go down in rage. You will actually go up in rage. And you cannot be wounded by it.
So when the demon brings her close to its face, like, to eat, she wiggles out of its hand, like, you know, elbows and kicks her way, like, out of its immediate grip, and just runs her spear through its eyeball.
You definitely kill it, and that takes you up to level 3. Its eyeball is stuck on the end of your spear, and like it makes this gross, like sticky, like slurping sound as you pull it out of the eye socket, and the demon collapses beside you, and behind it is a necropolis full of just every kind of horrific demon imaginable.
Do I get the sense that eventually a portal's gonna open back up and I'm gonna come out of here?
Probably.
I look for something I can ride.
There's actually there is a giant temple at the end of this necropolis that is firing a continuous stream of like green hellfire up into the sky. Looks like that's probably your way out.
Okay. I go.
Excellent. On your way into the city, you can see several different, like, just humanoid bodies that have withered away to, like, almost nothing, like, just kind of languidly laying there in anguish, just suffering.
I just kind of sweep through them with my spear, like, to put them out of their misery.
Your spear is just like, yes. Feed.
Yeah, I just sweep my way through on the way to where I'm going.
You are currently at 3, which means that you can defeat. Let me go to that sheet. There we go. Yeah, you're emotionally engaged, and you are currently capable of defeating an army, a mountain range, or a town.
Dope. My armor's all melty again.
It
I don't
definitely
think that
is.
matters here.
Yeah, so you just fight and kill your way through the town.
I am pumped by the time I get to the middle of it.
By the time you get to that temple, you are consumed with rage. You can defeat a country, a religion. There's one more level above that, which is inhuman. And standing between you and the temple is a dark armored figure wielding a sword.
I square up. I like flourish my spear and then take a stance in front of it.
It turns to face you, and it's just this horrific, like, skeletal figure. It could be anyone or anything, but it's just armor clad, and its vacant eye sockets fill with fire, and its sword engulfs in hellfire, and then it charges you down.
Who the fuck invited Sauron?
What?
Do I defend against it, or are we just like in combat now?
Let's see. Yeah, so the closer it gets to you, when you start like defending yourself against it, the more it begins to resemble you as you fight against it.
Oh,
It's like taking on your characteristics.
That just like amps me up.
Does that take you to level 6?
Yeah, that just makes me madder.
So
But
you're
in
now
a way that I don't really feel in control of anymore.
you're now at level 6 rage, which is in human levels of rage. You can defeat a god, hope, or yourself, which includes this thing. This wraith has become you.
When it finally just looks like me, like mirror image, like as soon as Shannon gets a hold of it, like physically grasps it, she starts to melt everything around her like she did when she fought Vincent Mayhem.
You have to be pretty hot to melt hell, but you are. Yeah, you definitely are able to kill this thing.
Does it say anything? Like, is it goading me at all, or was it just like silently turning into me?
We'll say it was definitely goading you. Saying things like, even an imitation of you is better than the real thing.
Shannon's like, you wouldn't know an imitation. I am the imitation.
Oh, it's a physical representation of your imposter syndrome.
Yeah, when it's finally dead, Shannon just like, oh, you're reloading. So my dog is so bougie, he won't eat a sun chip.
Wow.
He's not into it.
Yo, the Doom Eternal soundtrack is so good.
Okay, I think I'm good now.
Okay.
Did the music stop playing?
No.
No point.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there. All right, yeah. There's nothing standing between you and the portal now.
Yeah, Shannon looks at it and looks back at like what remains, if anything, of the demon she fought that looked like her.
It's like that scene in Terminator 2, where he like melts into a puddle. Except instead of a thumbs up, it's just a middle finger.
Shannon's just like, that's right, Shar.
Yikes.
And then just goes through the portal.
All right, so you're able to crawl your way back up through the hole that the imps dragged you through, and by the time you're back, the Tarask is mostly focused on the mobile suit being piloted by Marcus, and Regina is just kind of desperately throwing in fireballs where she can. Heather and Tiffy, you are so far successfully holding the line, but the walkers have gotten there now. So it's definitely gotten a little bit more panicky on the front lines. People aren't able to focus on the flyers quite as much because there are like gnashing teeth and bladed claws like right in front of their faces. They are pouring into the city.
Okay.
I like how this fight is like one temperate zone of Castlevania, one temperate zone of Gundam, and then Dante's Inferno.
It's beautiful.
So just Reggie in the middle of it trying to be Harry Potter. Like, it was just probably a disaster.
It's definitely something a lot like a disaster.
Whose turn is it?
We'll go ahead and say it's Heather's.
Okay.
Okay. A little bit better than last time. This time you're able to shuck off another 350, which puts the Fallen Walkers at 2025. And we'll say the Flyers shit, I lost track of them. Okay, 225. All right. 200 Flyers remaining. Tiffy, what do you do?
Okay, so the more pressing issue is the impending wall of dead people, right? Like, the flyers
Yes.
are a problem, but they're still kind of, like, out of
They're-
reach.
They're picking people off, like, one by one. Just, like, swooping down, grabbing them, and then carrying them off.
Okay. More pressing problem is the wall then. So I'm gonna try to call on the god of the sea to do a level 2 miracle and make a wall of water to try to make at least their coming a little slower. Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, the way this one works is the number of successes that I roll to like cast the miracle is how the difficulty that it is to try to get through the wall.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm gonna need a link to this track when we're
this
done
is
here.
fucking dope. Oh fuck, that's not great.
So 1 success.
I don't actually think I can. I don't think it goes off because it's a level 2 spell.
Oh, gotcha.
Shit.
So yeah, no, the god of the sea is
He was just like, nah, I ain't got time for it.
the god
I'm
of the
not here
sea
at the moment. Please leave a message.
is distracted by Marcus's subspace beacon
Oh.
because she considers outer space to be a sea as well.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
And Marcus, your subspace beacon did go off.
Uh huh.
Regina asks you, "What the hell was that?"
Don't worry about it. Worry about the trash.
So it's almost like a canister flare that just shoots up out of your mech and just goes straight up into the sky, and then there's like a loud ping, and nothing happens that you can tell anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The mech does say that you successfully delivered the subspace beacon.
All right. Still focusing on the task at hand until shit goes south.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Oh shit! All right. We're actually going to use fate 1 coin to use the beam saber.
Yeah. So it's like a giant pink lightsaber,
All right.
but it's not as like defined a blade. It's like more fiery. It's pretty dope.
Yep. All right. So, and if it and since it's going off of my dex, hold on. Let me. That's the thing. Okay. So, roll to attack.
And what are you targeting?
We are still gonna head for the Actually, we're gonna go for its right arm.
For his right arm. Okay. Well, you almost sever its arm entirely. Actually, you probably will sever its arm because it did ignite it. You did 4 damage, and the arm only has 5 hit points. So at the start of the next round, that arm is just going to fall off. Okay.
Nice.
Anything else you want to do?
That's kind of positioning myself between it and the city or the opening,
Okay.
so that it has to go through me to get push its way through.
All right. You're standing between it and the city. Very valiant. Shannon, it is your turn.
Shannon is fully on her bullshit.
Yep.
So y'all, the rest of you, you just see this pillar of flame erupt in the desert.
And Shannon claw her way up from hell.
Yeah, literally.
Shannon climbs back up, immediately looks around for Regina.
Caesar.
Looks around and she's like, not within arm's reach. That's for the best.
Oh God.
That was almost it. Shannon looks at the Tarrasque. She can see that it's one of its legs that's injured. It's about to pop off.
Regina yells to Shannon, "Don't worry about the Tarrasque. Kill the Grandmaster."
But he's way up there. And I'm way down here.
You have to do it. If you kill the Tarrasque, we may not be able to beat the Grandmaster. We need you to go off on the right thing.
I'll still be mad. Trust me. Shannon is not going to attempt to kill the Tarrasque.
If you use your creative violence now, it will extinguish your rage. So you have one shot.
But he's up on top of it. I can't fly. It's the one thing anger can't do for me.
You
Unless
can get up there.
You can firebender yourself up there, like with
You could Shadow of the Colossus your way up there and literally just like climb this thing's rib cage. It doesn't matter. You can get up there.
Did I leave anything back in the hell? Like, were there flying demons?
Yes.
Yes?
Sure, yeah.
Because I'm about to reach back in the hole and, like, gooseneck a motherfucker. Bring him up and be like...
If that's what you want to do on your way back up, is ride a flying demon out of hell, then you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, it's definitely that. And so she already got out and was like, boy, he's way up there. So she just reaches back into hell and, like, drags a pterodactyl.
It's like a pterodactyl, but with the face of the eyeless man from Pan's Labyrinth.
Dope. Oh. I'm into it. And she, like, mounts up and just steers it by the back of its head.
And it's got, like, a face like Mitch McConnell.
Even better. I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah, you're able to get up there, and the Grandmaster watches you. It doesn't seem to really do anything on the way there. Like, he doesn't consider you a threat.
Shannon flies in and jumps down, like dropping herself like onto the back of the Tarrasque where the Grandmaster is, and just lets the demon crash and burn.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Actually, the demon, once you let go of it, it flies inside of the Tarrasque as the Tarrasque is like shooting another blast, and it's just vaporized.
This pleases me. It doesn't make me less mad. It's just like,
It does put a smile on that face.
Yeah, Shannon points her spear at the Grandmaster.
The Grandmaster raises his D20 in defense.
She's just like, you picked Reggie of all people. I'm not afraid.
He surprisingly doesn't say anything to you.
I mean, that's fine. I didn't figure he had a face, really. But yeah, if this is my turn to use my creative violence, or do I have to wait to the next run because I got over here?
You can absolutely use your creative violence.
Shannon spins her spear around, like, over her head, and then dives it, like, into the back of the Tarrasque, and the entire Tarrasque catches on fire and just becomes, like, an inferno that just takes both the Grandmaster and, like, Shannon down with it. But she does reach out and grab a hold of him physically on the way down. Like, like, I'm going down with you, motherfucker.
So as you take hold of the Grandmaster, the weird like spiral thing in his face seems to like crumble away, almost like those almost like the walls in Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And let me put him back up on the screen. As his real face comes into view, you just see like a pallid, sweaty, kind of tortured version of Regina. Almost like she's been trapped inside of this thing the whole time.
It snaps Shannon out of everything.
Yeah, so you're staring down Regina, and there is another Regina down on the ground throwing fireballs.
She looks back and then like back again and like pulls her close as they both start falling into the inferno that Shannon just made. And she says, "Prove it to me."
Oh, let's see here. Make a wisdom check.
That's not my strong suit.
Oh no.
I'm not built to be smart, just mad.
You gotta beat 2. Oh,
Hey.
Fuck yes. The one time I was smart.
so this Regina like tries to kiss you, but you realize why would she do that if you two hadn't had that moment together? Because Regina never disclosed any kind of like secret hidden feelings for you. She just kind of came to you because you came onto her. So you're able to see through the illusion that the Grandmaster is casting on you. He is using the mimic spell, and you know it.
Shannon leans in and takes the kiss anyway and then snaps the neck.
All right, you two kind of fall into the this burning Tarask mess. Marcus, you hear a loud beeping coming from your console.
Check the console.
There's an incoming transmission.
I received transmission.
Requesting coordinates for drop.
Fuck. Give them my coordinates.
All right, when you send the coordinates, a number of attachments for the suit that you're in kind of materialize out of subspace and land in the desert, as well as a few smaller but much more modern elven like anti-kaiju units appear, and they begin moving in like a grid pattern, clearing out the fallen that are attacking Nidara. And they're just sweeping with like laser weapons, Gatling guns, flamethrowers, missile launchers, you name it. The literal cavalry.
So that's what that fucking. So that's what that button did.
And you actually get several transmissions from the elves that are in those suits that are like, wow, we thought this ship had been lost forever.
Yeah. No.
The stuff they're in looks a lot like the thing you're in, but better.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
And smaller. So you're still a bigger, chunkier mech, but like these things have had thousands of years of progress, not trapped on the planet.
Yeah, shit happens.
Gandalf, are you having a good time? You just chasing that ball? Here, I throw it for you. Go crazy. It's not they're not able to kill all the fallen for you, just the ones that are outside of the city, because if they move in, they risk hitting the civilians. But the equipment that you get allows you to like shoot micro missiles and stuff like that, so you can start targeting like pockets of the fallen to make sure that Tiffy and Heather don't have to fight any more waves.
Hmm. All right.
Tiffy, what do you do?
Ring, ring, bitch! It's me again. Build this fucking wall.
Okay.
I will double text. I don't give a fuck. Now, please.
I'm gonna say whatever I roll here is the roll that they get.
Okay. It says
They fail.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, what are you doing to the fallen that are hit by this wave of water, which is all of them?
Cool. So I just put the wall up in place of like where the hole is to keep them from coming through or coming through as quickly. I'm basically just trying to buy time, so there's like less for the people like to deal with. So there's not like waves and waves and waves of like undead people rolling up on our soldiers.
Regina spends a cheat coin to freeze the water wall you made and like seal it.
Oh hell yeah.
So now that hole is temporarily plugged up.
That works for me. We can focus on the flyers now.
Yeah, pretty much. Heather, you've got about 500 fallen left to deal with, and we'll say like 150 flyers. $11, not as great. How many fallen did I say were left? 1,000? 500? 500? Okay, yeah. 350 fallen remaining, and then 75 flyers. You've definitely taken a big chunk out of them. We don't really need to roll for that anymore, now that there's just like so few of them.
It's manageable.
It is manageable. That sealing up the hole was the big thing, because now the mechs outside can just fire with reckless abandon.
Yeah.
Shannon, what kind of condition are you in right now? Oh, you need to roll a d8 for me.
Yeah, because I've been falling for a while, I think. Oh no. I have rolled a 1.
Oh no!
Except now you've rolled a 9.
Oh, excellent.
Reggie adds her d20 to your d8, and wow, that's really lucky that she rolled an 8. Any lower, and you might have had a problem there. You take no damage from coming down from your creative violence.
Ooh.
What about Grandmaster? Who I definitely did hold in front of me for the landing on the ground.
The Grandmaster's physical form appears to be failing. He is dying.
Okay. Are we injured by the what remains of the Tarrasque?
It's gross, but no. It's just burning to a crisp.
It smells so bad here.
It smells real bad. It smells like sand and like just think rotten burning cat food.
Yeah, it's bad.
Ew.
With a tire fire thrown in for good measure.
So I land.
Oh god. Demonetized.
Oh geez.
Well, you'd know.
Well, The good news is you've managed to stop zombies and weird extra dimensional intelligences from murdering both you and the city. The bad news is that the city has sustained horrific, like catastrophic levels of damage.
It, it's a like standard superhero movie, really. I mean,
It's about this time that an enormous elven capital ship blips into being in the sky.
Oh, where the fuck did that come from?
You can thank Marcus for that.
and we will when Grandmaster's dead, because you said failing but not dead.
Yeah, he is still alive, but not for long. He doesn't have the power to do anything to you.
I mean, Shannon's just gonna continue ripping him bodily apart.
Oh yeah, no, you can.
Like,
He screams.
like fuck your arms, fuck your legs. You know.
So you're just gonna do all that, not get any answers or any other little bullshit.
I have forgotten that I have a spear. And the ground is burning, and I am burning. I am still like.
Regina comes over and like just kind of like tackles you to the sand.
Okay. Good luck, fam.
Am I gonna have to intervene in a giant mobile suit?
I also burned off my own attire again. Don't know why that keeps happening.
That didn't contribute at all to Regina making close bodily contact with you for whatever reason.
Look, sometimes, like, the only way to be as mad as you are is to titties the fuck out. Like, it's like a Greek goddess. Like, how pissed am I? Irrational and fully on my bullshit. Top off.
Regina spends the coin and teleports Heather, Tiffy, and Marcus to the area.
Oh, okay. Are we good? I guess
That's
we're
fun.
good.
While I'm fully interfaced into a giant system, that's not going to cause irreparable damage to my nervous system.
It definitely doesn't feel good. It's like waking up from a deep sleep only to realize that you're driving a car.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just huddled over in pain, dead-eyeing, guessing Reggie at this point is like, did you fucking do what I think you just did?
I don't know. What do you think I just did?
You pulled me out of something that was interfaced into my entire nervous system.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell us that.
You could have asked.
I'm sorry. This is important. He's about to wither away into nothingness. No, I think we're still gonna have magic.
Shannon's like emitting a long, terrible screeching sound that like comes from the pits of hell and is like coughing ash and embers. Like,
She's fine.
That doesn't look great.
That looks like Florida. That looks like Florida again.
Listen,
Just like Miami.
You have a lot of explaining to do about Florida, but don't worry about
We don't talk
zombie over here.
about Florida.
there's
We
just
don't
a,
talk about it.
there's just a molten crater filled with dead, burning Tarask.
Yeah, this is pretty disgusting. Can we like get this interrogation over with?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay. Who had questions?
There were questions. Like, I'm not asking any.
So So you hear a soothing voice inside of your mind. It is masculine, but it is not physically being spoken. They are like he is psychically speaking to you. He says, now you show curiosity in my creation. You are inside of Die. Would that you had worked with me rather than against me. I might have afforded you a space within its vertices. Though
Shannon's
there
like,
may yet be a place for you.
please.
If you bring others here, after I rematerialize, I will award you a space on Die.
Oh, so this is like a. This is like an MLM level of like bad.
Did not your god populate his world?
That's debatable in theory.
Do they now?
Shannon, like, between
I mean-
coughing fire is like, I'm pretty sure the like main head canon of our world is Space Wizard. Just saying.
He like wrenches as a spasm overtakes him as like a large portion of his body disintegrates.
Ugh. There was something very pressing that we meant to talk about, and I cannot, for the life of me, remember what it was because there was so much bullshit going on.
The crater that the Tarask is in splits in two as another earthquake rocks the continent.
Oh, that's right. The ringing alarm bells of the planet. Oh, we need to fix that.
Shannon's like ready to keep going. She's like trying to push Reggie like off of her so she can go continue clawing his eyes out.
Reggie's just trying to hold you
You
back.
sit down.
Shannon's still partially molten. Like, it's like sloughing off of her. Like,
She's also trying to cover like Shannon's like private bits.
fuck. She's like, y'all can look at my lava butt right now. Like, I don't give a fuck. You can have my whole ass. You can eat it with a spoon.
Shannon, I'm gonna need you to just sit down. Please, just sit down. You've done enough already.
Did you just tell me to
Any more
calm
damage? Yes.
Okay. So, I believe one pressing question that at least one of us, it was probably just me, had was if we agree to stay, what happens out in like out there where we used to be? Like, do we just disappear? Did we never exist? Like, what's the deal with that? Do we go missing?
That is partially within my power. I can influence that if you like.
Oh, so you can just decide.
I can. For the time I have remaining.
I thought you said you were going to rematerialize.
It may take years.
Oh, okay. This is a do or die moment then. Oh God. I'm so bad at now. I'm so good at waiting till later until everything blows up.
As you say that, like the sky darkens.
That seems like a problem.
No, you don't say.
Red lightning begins to strike the earth and glass the desert where it hits.
Oh, that's a big problem.
All right, asshole. So you'll just come back, right? But what will happen if someone just took your D20 and assumed your role? What the fuck will happen then?
Why do you think he'd tell us the truth? He lied to me. He tried to look like Reggie, so I wouldn't kill him.
You've already you made 2 craters. Just
You did make
that right now.
2
We'll
craters.
deal with that later.
Just 2.
Whether it is wielded by me or another, the Grandmaster is eternal.
But whoever other than you wields that power decides the fate of everything.
Correct. Does it tempt you?
Right now, tempting would be to get back into that giant suit and to, literally stomp where your body is until there is literally nothing left. But that would defeat the purpose right now.
For that, you need only wait. By now, like, his entire left arm has, like, disintegrated.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot slower than Thanos. Right now, he's pretty much like at Anakin Skywalker levels of having a body.
Oof.
Oh.
The die has been cast. You must make your choice.
All right. What's the option? You stay in?
I mean, this world's kind of in shambles right now. He's just gonna do this to somebody else.
Yeah.
If we don't
I
do
still need an
something.
answer.
What? And you think we're supposed to stay here and wait for it so we can stop him again? We're not the heroes anyone asked for. We're not even the heroes we asked for.
You know what? I'll just make this a lot easier. Marcus is going to walk towards the Grandmaster and take the D20 out of his hands.
What are you doing?
The Grandmaster
Solving a
offers up the
problem.
D20 willingly. And so Marcus, you take the D20
Mhm.
and you transform again. Except now you're a Neo and a Master. Whatever you want that to look like.
I'll figure that out later.
Weeb.
Marcus, why?
You now have
Solving
the
a
power
problem.
to influence the physical, like the laws of physics. You can summon allies to fight for you. You can tempt someone into doing something. You can transport yourself or others. You have 4 cheat tokens, 1 for each player.
Awesome.
Except with the Grandmaster
Alright, guys.
D20, you now have the option to transport yourself outside of the dungeon per se and onto the surface of Die.
All right, folks. I just need to know: are you guys staying or are you guys leaving? It doesn't make any difference to me. If you guys leave, just do me a favor. Throw this game into the deepest place you can fucking find.
But are you not leaving?
Hell no.
No, this is all of us or nothing. That's what we were told,
Nope.
and that's true.
I think the rules might have changed now that one of us has literally unlimited power. We can't just leave you behind, Marcus.
I'll be fine. I already told you what to do, man. I think it's probably for the best.
Did anyone know except for Heather? I can't remember if we were all in the room for that.
I'm pretty sure you, as he teleported again, he did tell everybody he had a 3-year-old kid.
Oh yeah, he was like, by the way, I have a kid, bye.
Yeah, I know that, but I can't remember if we were all there for that or just...
I think
Yes.
we were there for that.
Yes. You all heard me kind of blurt that out and leave.
Shannon's like, you can't leave your kid.
My kid is with her mother.
But
They
you
are
can't...
doing just fine.
You can't just leave
David,
your kid.
She's just fine without me.
She won't be fine without you. She will never be fine without you.
Look, right now I'm trying to solve this little situation that's happening right now. Maybe I'll get out someday. Maybe I won't. We'll find out.
No,
But I
you
kind of need you all to make a decision.
we won't just find out.
Eh,
You have to go back. Give it to somebody else. Give it to somebody else who doesn't have to fucking go back. You have a kid.
so, look. No, it's not. It's not my job to fix this place. It's not my job to fix what Reggie had broken. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure this place is stable. And however long that takes, hopefully it doesn't take too terribly long, I will find a way to get out. If I have to traverse other planes of existence to find someone to give this power to, I will do so, and I will find my way back.
No, that's too much if.
Look, we don't know what'll happen.
Give it to me.
No.
I don't have a kid. I don't have anything.
You have your brother. He's a piece of shit, but you still have your brother. You still have family. All of you still at least have something. If I stick around, I will eventually turn out like my dad. I don't want that. I don't want that for my kid. I want her to have a happy life. And currently she does have a happy life.
You have no fucking idea what you're talking about right now. She is never going to be okay if you disappear.
She doesn't know I exist. That was the deal.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what? Fine. Maybe you are better left behind here.
Like I said, I'll find my way back.
What's her name?
Shara.
You better figure it the fuck out, Marcus.
I will.
And until you do, I'm gonna do right by her. I'm gonna do all the things you're not fucking doing.
So, well, her mom's doing that already. Just kind of, just tell her that her dad did what he had to do.
Bree's occupied, excuse me.
Sorry. Sorry, Hana was being stupid. What happened?
Hana.
Yeah, Hana. Hana gonna start streaming tactics.
He's a shy creature.
He is a shy creature. Alright, sorry about that. It resumes scene. What happened?
Shannon looks at Reggie. Is Reggie still like, no, I want to live in Fantasyland? Did we lose Rainey?
No, I'm sorry, I'm here.
Oh,
Okay.
Is Reggie still like, no, I want to live in Fantasyland?
I mean, she is a little upset that you volunteered to stay behind and said you had nothing.
Ooh.
Shannon looks at her and is like, I know you wanted to come here to get away with it. I know you wanted to come here to get away from everything. But if we go back, I can't promise all this, but I can use what I have, and I can make it as magic for you as I can.
Aw,
That's cute.
I appreciate that. I need you to know I didn't come here to get away from everything. I came here to get away from nothing. My life kind of took a turn when I decided to stay home and take care of Mom when she got sick. And you guys remember when Mom died. That was hard for us. But I wasn't able to study in school because of the stress of taking care of her full time. And it was just me and Dad for a while. And I was just working at the grocery store. So I didn't really have anything. I didn't really have a future ahead of me. And when he died on the job, and they refused to pay out his life insurance policy because they blamed him for the accident, I had no money saved up to be able to pay for his funeral. I was going to be evicted from the house. I was going to lose everything. So I'm not running away from everything. I'm running away from nothing. But if you have a place for me, then that gives me something to look forward to anyway.
Yeah, I have some connections, and I'm thinking of accepting this job offer with the tech startup in Ireland. If you want to go.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
Yeah? Let's go. Because I got a whole lot of nothing too. Unless you want to go with me.
So when you say, yeah, let's go, there's like a glyph under your feet that starts to glow blue. Regina's like, I don't think we have to like hold hands or anything, but I think that starts the vote.
Well,
Let's go. And then Regina also has a glowing blue glyph under her feet.
Tiffy kind of looks over at Heather and looks like she thinks about it for a minute. She nods and she takes Heather's hand and says, "Let's go."
Shannon says to Marcus, "Hey, Marcus,
yep.
we're coming back for you."
I wouldn't come back here, honestly. Just
Yeah, it's
no.
a shit idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So shut up. We'll see you
Well,
later.
Look, don't worry about it. I'll kick your ass when I come back, all right?
You wish.
You won't have, molten god powers again.
What string bean? You'll still be a string bean.
So like a circle forms around the party, and it begins to fill it with light, and it looks like the teleport is about to go through, but then more of that red thunder starts to hit the ground and glass the desert, and another large earthquake starts, and it looks like it's waiting for one more person to cast their vote.
What the actual fuck? Somebody's got to fix this, or this place is gonna blow the fuck up.
Hey, why don't we let the elves fix it?
It is their
I
technology.
think they might get the fuck out. Then fix this place
Then,
because they're
like,
not from here.
then the meek inherit the earth, and the goblins and orcs and stuff will fix it.
Yeah.
You gotta
You
come
think?
on. We
Like
did
there's
our
winning in anything.
Look, we did our best, and that's an accomplishment for each and every one of us who have, until this point, possibly never done that before. Shannon
right.
puts out her hand to him. Come on.
All right.
Just chuck the D20 into the lake of fire. It'll be fine.
Quite literally.
Say, you know
Okay.
what to say. You know
All
what
right.
to say. Say the line.
right. Hold on. All right. Let's go.
A blue glyph forms underneath of Marcus Jr.'s feet and completes the circle. As all votes are cast, the darkness disappears, the earthquakes stop, and the fabric that holds this universe together solidifies. The glyphs connect together almost like a zodiac, like a astral kind of formation. And everyone begins to link together and feel their essences being pulled back into the real world.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Marcus flips a coin and
Using-
disappears from the summoning circle.
Motherfucker!
The rest of you are pulled back into the real world.
Shannon screams and reaches out for him as he disappears.
Just like that, you're back in the hotel lobby.
Do we lurch forward, or we settled softly?
We'll say lurch forward. It's pretty jarring.
Wait, the hotel lobby or the hotel room where we
Lobby.
started?
I think we
Hotel
started in the
lobby.
lobby.
Yeah, you're in
Yes,
the
we
lobby.
did.
Oh, the one that we came through the fake hotel lobby. Okay. Am I still naked?
No, you are in the exact same set of clothes that you were when you came into the hotel.
Okay.
I check my Fitbit watch to see if time has passed.
Approximately 1 second has passed.
I don't think it counts, parallel trips to the extraplanar dimensions.
One of the hotel staff comes up and says, "I'm sorry, I think we accidentally overbooked your card by one room. Here is a receipt for the refund being put back onto your card," and hands it to Jeremy. That was Marcus's room.
Shannon actually just starts to silently cry. It's not there's no more anger about it. She's just upset, which is the one thing she's refused to be her whole life.
Regina walks over in her shitty hoodie and ripped up jeans and comforts her. She looks like the same too old teenager that she did before, watching Dungeons and Dragons cartoon intro theme songs on her phone.
Tiffy goes over and she also kind of joins in on the consoling and the hugging.
Shannon puts her arms around her. She's never been super physically affectionate with Tiffy, even though that's her bestie. She's just not a huggy person. But
It
she
just
does.
won't
Tiffy, even though that's her bestie. She's just not a huggy person. But
it
she
just
does.
won't like that.
How is Jeremy back to being?
That's rough. I'm sorry.
Did you lie when you said you could get what you wanted either way?
She laughs a little bit and she puts an arm around his waist.
So, flash forward. It's 6 months later. Everyone has had kind of time to come to terms with what happened. We'll just go straight down the line. What's Jeremy doing?
You piece of shit!
That's awesome.
You don't even believe in God.
Neither do any of those old fucks.
What is... So, Jeremy's a televangelist. He's making bank. Is Tiffy involved in that?
Are you like the perfect white smile Karen haircut lady that like they're always married to?
Yes. Yes.
It's only been 6 months.
No, I have a kid though.
Oh right. Oh, and you
I run the books.
look like the total good guy who like married a single mom and adopted her kid. Like Tiffy finally found out what she was good at, and it's gold digging.
Accounting.
So that's going well. However, when your child is born, they're born with a birthmark that looks exactly like the symbol of Sharelia. And as long as you continue to feed her ideologies into your televangelism church, things just keep working out for you.
Yep.
Oh, you got Pikers again and had a baby?
Sounds good to me.
What's Shannon doing?
Shannon had Reggie move in with her, and they made some changes. She got helped her get enrolled in like online college classes or whatever, something she could do from kind of wherever. And Shannon started kind of looking at next move. She had that job offer in Ireland, and when she realized she couldn't take Reggie with her, like to another country, like just as a girlfriend, she asked her to marry her.
Aww. Well, Regina definitely would have said yes. But when you have your wedding, and you're going through the guest book, you see "Best wishes, love, M."
Aww.
Like
Shannon
in
tears
Marcus
that-
Jr.'s handwriting.
Shannon tears that page out of the guest book after the wedding is over and folds it up and keeps it in her wallet.
You know he wasn't at the wedding, so like
Yeah.
no one can explain how he got there.
She still keeps it. She shows it to Reggie too, but like keeps it with her.
Reggie kind of like... So speaking of Charlie Day, you remember that scene where he's like putting all the string and like push pins? Reggie kind of... Yeah, Reggie kind of turns into like a cryptozoology like nut, and it's just like trying to figure out all the things in the world that previously were just myths and legends, what might actually be real. now that you've had this weird brush with like the otherworldly. It kind of like consumes her.
Shannon's not good at putting pieces together like that, but she continues paying for whatever education Reggie wants to get to help her with this.
Marcus, what happens with you?
Marcus helps the elves and the other races of the Saurus, helps put back the ley lines, and then he just starts, traversing other realms, looking for ways to get back.
So you get to the surface of Dai, and you meet all kinds of interesting people. There are places that are more permanent than the pocket dimension that this took place in. There's like Little England, Eternal Prussia, places that were created by minds like J.R.R. Tolkien, Elizabeth Bronte, actually still exist on the surface of Dai, and the planet of Dai is a massive D20. And suspended in empty space around it are these stars, which are actually cities of the fair, which are like these techno elves. So you learn more about the world that you have come to steward over, but ultimately your fate remains a mystery for the time being. And
Fair
that
enough.
was Dai.
That was great.
I really appreciate you guys being a part of this.
Not a problem.
We had a great time.
My Chrome says it's not responding. Can you guys still see and hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just doing this big spin. I really enjoyed that. That was a great time.
That was definitely a lot different than other RPGs I've been a part of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I had, honestly, with the whole how this whole thing ended, I've had one of two options. A, Marcus takes the giant mech and, does what Bree suggested earlier, just
Pentecost it.
or, figure out a way. Yep. Or then just it's like, oh look, Grandmaster's dying. Let me ask him this question. Oh look, he gave me the answer I wanted. Done.
Oh yeah, the subspace beacon that you sent out actually reestablished contact with the elven civilization that the leaders were wanting to teleport themselves to anyway. So pretty much everybody got their wish. You got to fix the ley lines. The elves got to go home, and the other races got to finally, have a city of their own
Not
where
be
they were.
impressed.
Yeah.
Inherit the Earth.
Nice.
Cool.
Ultimately, you guys managed to achieve the good ending.
That's a surprise. Shit.
Yeah, I'm honestly astounded.
Nobody died.
Yeah, that was the good end.
Yeah.
I'm always a little surprised when that happens.
Yeah. Like up until about like a couple episodes ago, I was like, Tiffy's probably like this close to being like, I'm just not gonna leave.
I just decided after the Vincent Mayhem fight to look death in its shitty face and just like embrace it if that was gonna be what happened. We should do like a good, bad, and ugly recap, like for the whole campaign, like we usually do for my Fate campaigns, like
for sure.
my Fate episodes.
Do we want to do that right now?
Yeah, we can do it right now.
I think honestly, what we ought to do is we ought to do a good, bad, and ugly. But also we have not yet aired our session 0. I still have it.
Oh yeah.
I still have session 0, and I think that we should do a like a session 0 reaction or something like that, because it'd be really funny.
Oh, it was like us reacting to our own ideas at the
Being
beginning.
like, oh, that turned out completely different.
Yeah, and then we'll
Great
do our good, bad, and ugly at the end of that. So we'll have one more episode of Die, where everybody gets to see how we kind of came to this in a roundabout sort of terrible way.
We had really interesting character development, like all of us did, like for a short game.
Yes.
True that.
I think that's something to be proud of.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
That was a lot of fun.
Marcus actually did throw me for a loop at the end. I was like,
I know. I was not expecting it.
So,
Like I said,
there was a precedent for that. So in the comic, there's a character who gains the D20 from the Grandmaster, and he is required to be a part of the vote to go home. But he's also someone who was able to, not intentionally, but by accident, like dodge the bus home essentially after he voted. So I went by kind of what happened in the comics to influence that, and I gave the relevant information to Corey through messaging.
Yeah, he
Ooh.
snitched
Yeah,
partway through the session. I was like, oh, some shit don't go down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally right there in the actual chat, like in the art, like roll in the roll
I
20
wasn't
chat.
paying attention to it really.
Well, it was a private message to you,
Yeah,
Corey.
it's
So
Oh, it was. Oh,
Yeah,
we didn't see
okay,
any
that
of
makes
it.
more sense.
Yeah, we didn't
Okay,
see any
it
of
was
that.
like, oh, all right.
So we got
The
totally
stream got to
blindsided.
see it though.
No,
probably.
the stream did not. The stream
Oh,
did-
it's right. 'Cause
No.
it's streaming through your computer.
Yeah.
So given how close Shannon came to dying in the Vincent Mayhem fight, I was like fully prepared for curtains when she went the same route with just burning the whole Tarrasque and taking the Grandmaster down in the Inferno. I was like, she's just gonna take him down with her. Like that's the only way I can think to take out a godlike figure here is just like this is everybody's party now.
one power that I consistently forgot about that the Master has is the ability to add their D20 to any roll that happens within their world.
Oh.
So, like, if Reggie had like stayed the bad guy and like been the final boss, then I would have been adding that D20 roll to like the monsters that you were fighting, so they'd be getting extra successes.
Oh.
But
Have been bad.
that would have
That
been
would
bad.
have been very bad.
But I also rolled an 8 when you required a 9 to get your basically
To
come
live.
down from that, to live. So like because it added on to yours, it was just like, oh my god.
I picture Reggie just seeing like the descent begin and like, oh, this stupid bitch. Like she like frantically throws her D20 like, oh, not today, Satan.
Yeet.
Like,
Oh my goodness. I really look forward to the session 0 commentary. That's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, me too. Because I have forgotten like for the most part what I said going in.
I will say this, Rainey, if you wind up running another Fate campaign with like another group of people, I kind of want to come back as the Grandmaster as Marcus.
So
That'd be
Please.
great.
Yes, absolutely. I will let you know if I run. Actually, I do have another group who wants to run die.
cool. Okay.
Good.
Aw, Gandalf, you getting scritches?
That's
Sweet baby.
I love having players from other games cameo as like their characters in other sessions. Like it's
it's
just
real
a
dope.
world over. But
It's
yeah,
real fun
so
to do.
because this was so fucking fun, I did already agree with some other people that the next time I run the Yoyan March, Rainey gets first dibs on that march.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dibs.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Well, we are going a little over time as far as the stream is concerned, so
Yeah, we
Very
are.
fun.
We had to do like the aftercare talk down.
yeah. Yeah. So just so everybody knows, Mech Warrior has been moved to Friday. From here on in. Just because of timing, and also Mech Warrior is one of those games that kind of does a little bit better if you have a little bit longer session anyway, just because of the length of combat. So moving it to Friday makes it a lot easier because I can stay up a little bit later, and so can most of the other players, just because we don't have work in the morning. So on Tuesday, because Die is now over, Rainey has graciously agreed to join us as another DM, and I believe we're going to be doing Odysseys of Theros.
Yes, absolutely. Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition on Roll20. I have purchased the materials for Mythic Odysseys of Theros. It is available now for the pre-order customers. July 21st, the hardback will be releasing, which I have pre-ordered the special hobby store variant cover, so I'm very much looking forward to that. It's going to be D&D set in a Greek mythological setting. So heroes, gods, monsters, from Magic the Gathering, of all places.
I know nothing about the setting.
I honestly haven't looked at Magic the Gathering in like 15 years, and I remember that I sold the last of my Magic the Gathering cards to buy my D&D books, so...
Honestly, I think there's Theros and Ravnica are the two main settings right now.
2 are in books, Ravnica and Theros. However, in Unearthed Arcana, there's also setting material for Zendikar as well.
Oh, dear sweet God.
Ooh.
Yeah. I thought there was another one, too, that they had released. They'd released several. But anyway, we have been... this has been Die and Doozles. So join us, I guess, tomorrow. And we will be doing character creation session 0, yes?
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
Are we going to stream that or just do it?
It's up to y'all.
We can't. It'd be a great time for them to be introduced to our new player.
That's true.
Uh-oh.
B&B.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who participated in this, as well as everyone who watched it.
Thanks, Rufio.
and Beasley.
And Beasley. Thank you, Rufio and Beasley, top fans.
We had a couple other people stop by. I'll go through the footage and call them out later.
Die is available as a comic book from your local comic shop. Please check it out. It's very cool. The RPG rules are available as a beta on I think it's just die.com/RPG or something like that. Google it. You'll find it. But thank you all so very much.